You're listening to the World's Team Podcast. It's not just America's team, Cowboys Nation. It's the world's team. Now, here are your hosts, Paul Stewart and Mike Poland.
How about them Cowboys?
What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome to another episode of the World's Team Podcast right here on the BLEAV Network. This episode is sponsored by Cowboys Experience, the ultimate game day hookup, epic tailgates, player meet and greets, stadium tours, game tickets, and so much more. Be sure to go to www.cowboysexperience.com and use the discount code WorldsTeam 2025. I am your host, Paul Stewart, and I am joined as always, my brother in arms, all the way from Wales. It's Mr. Mike Poland. How are we doing, bro?
Yeah, all right. Once this fantastic internet connection that we've got going on, whatever's going on, there's something happening right now. But right now, all we need to say is it's working, and so is the NFL schedule.
Oh, yes. Yes, folks, as people may know, as of right now, the 2025 Dallas Cowboys schedule is now available.
Yes.
And my goodness, it is a monster of a schedule. Some really good lineups, some really tough lineups in terms of scheduling. But we're going to break it down. We're going to go over it. But we've got road games in Philly, Vegas, and Detroit, a December stretch that could define the season in the NFC East. But let's just dive straight into it, Mike. Let's just dive straight into it. So, week one, the Philadelphia Eagles away.
Here's the trouble I have with the week one, is that it's going to be when the Eagles fly the banner. And it's like,
let them wave their banner. Let them wave it, Mike. Seriously. Like, who cares? If we can go to Lincoln Financial Field.
And this is the other side. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the other side. If we can go to Lincoln Financial Field and make Eagles tears flow down our beer glasses, I'll be happy. I'll be a very happy man. But yes, week one, Lincoln Financial Field at the playing against the Philadelphia Eagles. Week two, we're off to New York. No, sorry, we're not off to New York. Let me rephrase that. We're playing at home against the New York Giants. Week two, against the New York Giants.
NFC East back-to-back.
NFC East back-to-back, yep. Week three, at the Chicago Bears. Week four, the Green Bay Packers at home. Week five, at the New York Jets. That's the game we do go to New York. Week six, we're on the road again against the Carolina Panthers. Week seven, we're playing against the Washington Commanders at home. Week eight, we're at the Denver Broncos. I've got a few words to say about that one. I'm very interested. Week 9, we're at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Week 10 is our bye week, and by God, that is perfect for the Cowboys. Week 10, because see these next couple of games after the bye week, we need it. We certainly need it. And by that is in week 11, we're off to Vegas against the Las Vegas Raiders. Then week 12, we play the Philadelphia Eagles at home. And the big one, the Kansas City Chiefs on Thanksgiving. And not to mention, there's another one. We're back on the road again against the Detroit Lions. Arguably the hardest game on the away schedule by far. Week 15, we're back at home against the Minnesota Vikings. Week 16, we play the Los Angeles Chargers at home. Then finally, the last two remaining games at away is against Washington Commanders at week 17, and on week 18, we're back to New York again against the New York Giants.
Mm.
Well, Mike, where do we start?
NFC back-to-back to start the season. NFC East back-to-back to end the season.
We kind of knew that because there is a repeating pattern with the Cowboys schedule from previous years. We always seem to have the NFC East teams at the end of the schedule. Whether it's whether it's home or away, we always tend to have, if it's the Eagles or the Giants or the Commanders, it doesn't really matter, but we do tend to have a recurring theme every year when it comes to the schedule. We always play the NFC East teams.
Yeah, they kind of do that just to make like this. It's the end of the season, make it suspenseful. But
yeah, especially if it's like a head-to-head winner takes all. So I get it; it makes sense.
Yeah,
but because I kind of knew, and this is my thoughts, right? And I do want to. I'll mention this about the Thanksgiving game later on, but when looking at the past, we've had multiple years of NFC East Thanksgiving games back to back, Giants, Commanders, and before that we've had the Panthers in 2015, 2017 was the Chargers, and probably most recently was the Las Vegas Raiders in 2021. So, but all those other years have been NFC East Thanksgiving games.
Yeah. So, go on.
But Mike. But we will talk about the Thanksgiving game just a short moment. But what other game, what other games?
Really
does actually pique your interest at this moment, especially where it's placed on this year's schedule?
Bears and Jets at the start of the season. I think that's wildly important, mostly because they are in cold weather areas, but you're getting them at the earliest side of the season.
I think you might be missing one game out of that equation as well, Mike.
Broncos.
Week 8 against the Broncos. I am so honestly, Mike, I cannot contain my happiness. The fact that we're not going to Chicago, we're not going to Denver.
Yeah.
At the winter, but we are going, and we are going to the Giants end of the year. That's the only downside.
And the Lions in week 14. That's also a big one. Going to Detroit in the end of November, and you think as well that
it is indoor though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, you're still dealing with in respect some of the elements there, but it's more than anything, it is that you go on that run, that run of games round about Thanksgiving where they play like 3 games in 11 days. You always hear it every time there's that way, and like it's the Chiefs at Thanksgiving, but then all of a sudden you've got to go on the road that time of year to the Lions. Yeah. And they're a hard team to beat. And then you're going to throw in the elements of that time of year. It's still going to be cold. I just think that, that's a killer part. The other side of it is then that's all entangled with the NFC North, because then you're following that with the Vikings. Okay, it's at home. But then you've got 2 games to end the season on the road.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Here's a really interesting thing, right? Not only we have our Thanksgiving game, but we're also playing on Christmas Day.
Yes. That's a good one. That means that puts an extra bit of level of spice on Christmas Day.
Well, I can't complain. I'm gonna be getting stuff to eat and some trifle while I'll be cheering my Cowboys. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll be at home. Would have done all the kids stuff, and then I'll go home and open up a bottle of whiskey. Probably FaceTime you. Jamie will probably phone us at some point drunk as well, but we can't understand a word he's saying.
In case anyone's wondering who Jamie is, he is the founder of the UK Cowboys fans. In case anyone's wondering, so just for reference. But yes, and he's been a long dear friend of ours, and we love Jamie to bits. But
he's got some stories. He's got some stories.
He certainly has. He certainly has. But looking back at the schedule again, I mean, I am very intrigued by this year's schedule. Like, it's the fact that we're off to Vegas week 11. We play
right after the bye, though. That's right, and that is important. A week 10 bye.
Yep. So we're going to be playing against Ashton Genty and the Las Vegas Raiders in week 11. We're going to be playing the Eagles the following week. Then with a short turnaround, we're going to be playing the Kansas City Chiefs on the Thursday for Thanksgiving. And I believe we're going to be also be playing on Thursday night against the Detroit Lions.
The first game is Thursday night as well because it's the opening season opener against the Eagles.
So that's that's technically what we've got. What, 4 Thursday night games this year?
I will need to go and check to confirm that.
Because it's like, I mean, let's make no mistake here, Mike. Like, look when we saw this roster. Sorry, not this roster, but this schedule.
Yeah,
like Eagles, Packers, Commanders now, the Broncos with the season they had last year. The Raiders could be a turnaround team this year. The Chiefs, the Lions, even the Vikings. Well, that's still a big question mark with JJ McCarthy. We don't know what he's capable of. And look at the weapons that the Chargers have brought in offensively to help like Sir Justin Herbert. So it's not a schedule to take for granted. It's a tough schedule. It really is.
I mean, if we just ignored the dates of when everything was happening, you just look at the opponents itself is tough, you know. You're doing both Super Bowl teams from last season. You're having them back to back. So you're going the Eagles on the Sunday, and then you're turning that right around and going into Thanksgiving and facing then the Chiefs.
You know, it's actually quite funny as well. The week after the Eagles game, the opening game of the season, the Eagles play the Chiefs on week 2.
Yeah. So I'm just going through Thursday night football. Philly is Arizona's Monday night football. Obviously, Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, however you want to put that around. The week after, though, Detroit, that's a Thursday night football game. So you're playing Thanksgiving, then it's a week, and then you've got the long turnaround then, which is against Minnesota. So that's So the long turnaround, which is with Minnesota, and then obviously then Washington because it's a Christmas game. So
yeah, like for traveling fans, like if you're going back to back to games this year, like I mean, you could go to some really good matchups. So that it's not like you're going to like where it was like kind of last year. It was just like how the groupings of some of the schedule previously before, where you're not playing against a top tier team, you're playing a team that's below 500 and stuff like that. Like whereas this, you're going to put a little bit, you're going to put some respect to every team we're playing against this year. You really do, because quite a lot of these teams were in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, God, yeah. I mean, like literally, most
Broncos
of
were there, Packers,
Washington, Eagles.
Yeah. There you go. Like,
and you're facing them twice.
Yeah. I mean, it's just. I don't know about you, Mike. I'm not entirely too sure how I'm going to predict this schedule. I really don't.
Yeah. I it's hard to predict for definite. I'm not gonna. We'll do predictions. I think maybe after we've seen a couple of preseason games.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most logical thing to do. But folks, here watching on YouTube or wherever you are listening on Spotify, Apple, and any other podcast system, please let us know what you think. What do you think the schedule looks like? We'd love to hear your thoughts. But
oh wait, before you do anything, I do have some good news to throw at you though.
All right, okay.
I'm just going through it now and looking. I'm very, very happy because I know in America it's probably not a big deal, but here in the UK it's a real pain. Is that we've only got one Monday night football game.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Not like last year. Yeah. It's Arizona week 9 is the only Monday Night Football. Sure, all right, we've got we've only got one Sunday Night Football game as well,
Oh, even better.
which is
Like,
Minnesota.
so for everyone watching on from the UK and mainland Europe and anywhere going towards east of the United States, this schedule works so much better for us in terms of TV time.
Yeah.
Works so much better.
Yeah.
And I guess in some way as well, even for our friends back home in Texas, means they can tailgate right after the game for much longer.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, you've got Thursday night football to contend with, but I'm not so bad with the Thursday night stuff. The Monday night football is always a killer here.
As long as
it
it's
messes
not
our week up.
Yeah, like I think the good thing about the majority of these Thursday night games is they're mostly away. Philadelphia and Detroit, they're mostly away. The only home game I think I can see is the Kansas City Chiefs on Thanksgiving, which is a given. That's a given. We knew that was going to be the case.
Yeah, that's always the case. Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, it's very intriguing to see how this schedule has panned out.
Question for you though, Paul. Question.
All right.
We're going to be at Kansas City for Thanksgiving. We're there at the game.
Well, we're going to be at the Cowboys, Kansas City. We're not going to be in Kansas City.
No, yeah. We're at the Thanksgiving game against Kansas City. We land obviously on the Saturday, but do we go to the Philly game now on the Sunday?
Question. Should we? I think we should. Even for a standing ticket against the enemy that is Philadelphia, who I cannot stand.
Correct.
Like, that team just severely boils my blood.
A rival game.
Yeah.
It's got to be done. We got to do it.
I've done it before. It's definitely an experience. Put it that way. Like, put it this way from my point of view, Mike. I would say a Cowboys-Eagles game is more volatile than a Celtic versus Rangers game back here in Scotland.
That's tough to beat.
That's my personal opinion on it. Like, I don't know if it's just purely because in soccer here in the United Kingdom, fans are segregated. You've got your away fans one side, and you're
not mixed in.
Whereas when you're in a Cowboys-Eagles game, you could be sitting right next to an Eagles fan, and they could be
or a group of.
You just may never know, and they could be talking so much trash, and you're just like, it just boils your blood. And yeah, I'm definitely interested in getting me a standing ticket for that game. Yeah, but yeah, man. But yeah, like you mentioned, we are going to be at the Thanksgiving game along with the UK Cowboys fans. I believe over 18 of us are attending this game from all across the UK, from Scotland to England to Wales to Ireland, all coming together. We're traveling.
Three Canada boys.
Oh yeah, we cannot forget our friends from Canada, Cowboys Can fan.
Yeah.
And and I'm not entirely too sure. And I think our friends from Big D Deutschland might be going over again as well. Because I believe they tend to go over every year for Thanksgiving also. So I'll need to reach out to our friends in Germany for that one. So, but yeah, big shout out to our Cowboys Nation in Canada, Cowboys Can fan, and Big D Deutschland. And also, I want to give a big shout out to Blue Star Brazil for connecting with us the other day, and we would love to get Vinicius on the show later down the line. He's been absolutely fantastic. I've been talking to him directly from on X. Just love the fact that we're getting to connect more with Cowboys Nation from all over parts of the world. So Cowboys Nation,
the world's team.
That's it. Not just America's team, it is the world's team. That is the motto. But yeah, so it'll be really interesting to see what Vinicius has to say about what he thinks about the schedule, what he thinks what the upcoming season has on store for us, what he thinks about the roster. I'm really curious to know. And we can't forget our good friend Alejandro from True Blue Italia as well.
Yeah,
We can't
yeah,
forget him.
yeah.
So, but yeah, but like I said, folks, Cowboys Nation is all over the world right now, and we've met so many Cowboys fans. Well, from all walks of life, Japan also. But
Yeah.
and if there's one thing for certain, a lot of Cowboys Nation internationally come over for Thanksgiving. So, but yeah, what a game to be given on Thanksgiving. I am so happy we're not got like the Giants or the Commanders again on Thanksgiving. I am so happy about it. But the one thing I'm not happy about, right, is the skyrocketing ticket prices already out there. I'm just like, are you like? I saw a Section 200 seat for going for nearly $1,500.
Yeah, not happening.
It's just like how, like, from our perspective, even if, like, it's that works out about well over £1,200, maybe 1,300 euros or whatever that may be. I'm trying to do my quick math here. Right? I'm not like Scott Steiner quick maths. If you get that, if anyone gets that reference, then you're a good wrestling fan. But yeah, it's an expensive game, but we're still gonna go. We're still gonna.
My brother seen it and he panicked. He was like, "What?" Because obviously he's paid flights and, you know, the hotel and everything. And he's like, "I can't afford it." I was like, "Calm down." I was like, "It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay." You're looking at people who are putting it up for like resale and stuff, and this is what they do. I was like, "That's not what we'll be paying. We'll be looking at more like $500. So don't panic."
Yeah, and not to mention that also, depending how the schedule works. If like, and I don't want to put this on us at all. Like, if the Cowboys were to have like a pure mediocre first 9 games of the season, like we're maybe like 4-5 or 5-4 or something like that, people will start to renegotiate their prices. And this is the one thing that does annoy me about like a Ticketmaster and whatever, and that is it's so inflated. There should be a price cap on certain things. Like, how's fan support? Like, what, for all the amount of money you're paying, what experience are you getting? I mean, we just saw our good friend Mike Tagg actually now giving up his season ticket, and he can't justify paying all that money for the season ticket because he's not feel as though he's getting the experience for the price. And I agree, but for us though, for people, for me, you, Mike, everyone at UK Cowboys, our friends and Cowboys fan, like, we're more than happy to pay the price in that way because we don't get to see that on a week-to-week basis. This is like a massive trip for us, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
But tell me, Mike, what would you be like, just out of the whole games there? What would you say could be the, I don't know, sleeper game of that schedule?
Oh, for God's sake. Sorry, I just whacked the mic. What do you mean in terms of sleeper? Like, there could be a surprise, like, really good game?
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
Let's have a look. I reckon the one that could stand out the most as like, oh, wow, would be probably the Raiders on the road in Vegas right after a bye. You know, there's potential there with the Raiders, but there's also the same with the Cowboys.
As much as I hate to say this, Mike, I'm looking at week 4 against the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
For what they've done in the draft, bringing in Matthew Golden, they've doubled down on wide receiver in the draft. They've given Jordan Love new weapons.
Yeah.
And depending on what we do in the first 3 weeks, coming back from Chicago, I am very intrigued to see how we play against Matt LaFleur and the Eagles, not Eagles, the Packers. My God, I'm just so pumped up with excitement, like the fact that we know what's going on now.
Yeah.
We need to win that game. I think this game could be one of those big, high-scoring games from either side. Like, it could be going back to I can't remember what year it was. Was it 2011, 2009 Cowboys Denver Broncos game where it was Peyton Manning and Tony Romo had the massive. It was back and forth. I think this could be that game this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's that. I mean, I'm looking 2 road games back to back. Like, will one of those be like
Or the Jets and Panthers?
I know that is who they are, but like it's back to back on the road, and will somebody turn around and be like, "Oh, it's a trap game," on the road? Like with the Panthers, I'm thinking more than anything.
Well, they do have their number one wide receiver now, Ted McMillan, who we have spoken quite a lot in the past recent weeks. A guy that we would love to have had, but we've definitely made up on that by getting George Pickens as our wide receiver 1B, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, we've got plenty to play with, for definite, and running back situation, offensive line. So I just think Panthers, you're gonna, if we say, let's say they have one loss in the first 4 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Eagles, Giants, Bears, Packers. They're going to lose 1, possibly 2 games in that first 4 weeks. Then you've got the Jets. I think they'll handle them on the road. So then you'll be going into week 6 and people will be like saying, let's say they've only lost 1 game in that time. And then the hype is on. And then people are like, Panthers, road game, second road game in a row, trap game, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. I could see that, like, and that's one thing we're like, I'll say it, like, we're terrible as a fan base for doing. Like, we amplify our hype way too much when it comes to that. Like we don't settle down and just take it game by game. We tend to get ahead of ourselves quite a lot. Like, there's some of Cowboys Nation out there that do tend to do that. I've done that myself in previous years. Now that I'm kind of doing more broadcasting, doing the podcast, I need to be more level-headed.
Yeah, you got to lean back a little.
Yeah, and be more analytical. Try not to be the fan per se. I do need to think about, what about this? What about that? And this is where I want to lead with this final question, Mike.
Oh no.
The Minnesota Vikings game.
Yeah.
To me, that's the biggest question mark in this whole schedule for me. Because we just don't know what we're going to be playing against in that one. Because obviously they had a tremendous season last year with Sam Darnold coming out of the woodwork after JJ McCarthy got injured. Now and we don't even know if JJ McCarthy is going to be 100% still, like, going into this season. We don't know the reports or anything like. We haven't really checked up on that, but just being frank about it, we don't know what JJ's all about. We don't know what he's capable of. Like, hopefully by week 15, we'll definitely know more about him. Like, but still though, that's the biggest question mark on this schedule.
Yeah. I mean, that is a huge question. They could be a sneaky good team, Vikings.
They've always kind of had that. They've got a good head coach. They've got a good foundation. Like,
and we would have been playing them right after Detroit too.
Yeah,
and that is in that tight schedule of games.
Well, the good thing after that Detroit game, that's when we've got that extended break.
Yeah, the week, the extra week long. Yeah,
so there's more time. So in our advantage, we've got more time in preparation for that game. So, but yeah, folks, like I said, be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Be sure to follow us all on social media. And but before we do go, Mike, please tell everyone where everyone can find you.
You can find me on Twitter or X at Kenfig Cowboy. That's Kenfig with a K, Cowboy with a K. And you, Mr. P.
You could find me at I am P Stu on X and Instagram. But yes, folks, Thanks for swinging by to the World's Team podcast. And here, as always, here on this show, it's not just America's team, it is the World's Team. We'll see you guys next time.
That's a wrap on the World's Team podcast. Smash that like button and hit subscribe, Cowboys Nation. This ain't just America's team, it's your team.
Touchdown!
It's the World's Team, only on BLEAV, where real fans live.
How about them Cowboys?